Welcome, my fellow moon lovers and astro seekers. Happy new moon in Pisces on March 18th, 2026. The exact time of the new moon will be 9:23 p.m. The energy will be felt days before and days after, but 9:23 p.m. on March 18th is at its peak. So, this is the overview of the new moon in Pisces for the Divine DNA Moon Journal. But welcome to all of those that don't have the journal and just stumbled upon this video. This is a tool and resource that you can still use for your moon manifesting. Um, I did create a video and posted it for the new moon in Aquarius. And in that section, or in that video, if you've seen that, or the video on how to use the moon journal in general, I go over some of the reasons why I designed things a certain way, and I went into more detail. So, assuming that you've already seen those, if you haven't, you can go back and take a look at those. But for this video, I'll be focusing a little bit more on the new moon in Pisces aspects. Some of the things I didn't get to fully cover during the new moon in Aquarius video since I didn't want it to be too long. Um, the physical copy of the moon journal is being worked on. The digital copy is available right now at Divine DNA or Divine DNA shop. So moving along, I'd also like to make a note that I'm currently on my Instagram page posting a series on moon magic, which is a good companion for this moon journal, because I go into a little bit more details in specific with a focal point on the senses, the five senses, and how those correspond to each lunar position. So each sign that the moon is in. So today, posting the moon magic in Pisces, so you can get a few more ideas in there on how to activate this new moon. Again, this journal was created to track our patterns, the lunar phase cycle of that 6 month period. So for instance, just to show you, new moon in Pisces today on March 18th, and then the full moon in Pisces won't happen until August 28th, so about 6 months later. So this is to write down your intentions, to write down the themes that are playing out for you. And since it's a 6 month cycle, a lot of us, we may set intentions during the new moon, but we may not remember what those intentions were by the time the full moon in Pisces arrives. So this is to come back, write down your themes that are going on 6 months later, and to see how those intentions manifested according to what you were trying to manifest, or what your intentions for that new moon cycle was, or just moon cycle in general. So a little overview of Pisces. Pisces is a water sign. It's the last sign of the zodiac. It's the sign closest to the cosmos, to the heavens. It's, in my opinion, the most psychic energy out of the zodiac. All water signs have very intuitive capabilities, like Cancer and Scorpio. But Pisces, I feel, has the most expansive database. In traditional astrology, Pisces is ruled by Jupiter, the most expansive planet in the solar system. And that's the way that I view Pisces intuition. An analogy that I often think about is, I don't know if you've seen the videos of uh, water crystals and the way they're able to change shape, formation, etc., depending on the imprint that's put upon it, whether that's through certain music and frequencies or certain energies like love versus hate, um, and how that develops. That's the same way that I look at Piscean energy in terms of intuition being a database. Intuition is a bit like muscle memory. The more we experience, the more that's imprinted upon us, the more that on a subconscious level we're seeing patterns, whether we see them as patterns or not, it just comes as intuitive hits because of that emotional, intuitive muscle memory, so to speak. And to me, Pisces has the most expansive database. It's an energy just like within our DNA, within the memories of our ancestors or of past lives, those get passed upon us as we enter this lifetime. And if you haven't searched or researched the Akashic Record, rather, I would highly suggest you doing that because that's the way that I see intuition in general and psychic energy in general, but definitely Pisces having the quickest, most expansive access to the Akashic records of everything that's ever happened and everything that will happen. It's like being in that library of past, present, future, and being able to just have these very psychic, intuitive hits. The reason I'm mentioning all this is because this is a great new moon to work on those things, on our intuition, on our spiritual gifts, as well as compassion and healing. This is a great lunar cycle to work with that, both today on the new moon, also on the full moon in Pisces in 6 months, but also throughout that 6 month cycle, if those are things that you're setting intentions for. All that being said, um, I'd like to direct you to the new moon in Pisces page at divinednamoon.com if you want to check out the aspects to this new moon and how that's playing out. So moving along, in your moon journal in the Pisces section, you'll see that I have this what I would call an unseen creature, a fairy stag sort of combination. I do feel that unseen creatures such as fairies, mermaids, creatures of the forest, gnomes, etc., do correspond heavily to Pisces. Pisces being an energy of well, not only deep spiritual connection, but also to fantasy and to all sorts of unseen creatures. So this is an image that you can meditate upon to connect deeper to those parts of yourself. I wrote down as the quote for this Pisces section: within the boundless waters of Pisces, I surrender to intuition and divine flow. This is the lunar phase schedule for this upcoming month, starting with the new moon in Pisces. Again, I covered a bit about that in the new moon in Aquarius video, and you can check that out in your moon journal if you want to work in a shorter time frame in this next upcoming month with some of these energies and themes. Then we have the materials workshop, some of the corresponding, let's say, materials for Pisces, such as the crystal, aquamarine, but there's also other corresponding crystals. For instance, I don't have aquamarine, but amethyst, again, like how I had in the new moon in Aquarius video, is another one of those crystals that you can work with. Purple, obviously, being a color that I associate to Pisces because of the crown chakra and just the mystical cosmic tone of that color frequency. Labradorite is another stone that corresponds to Pisces. Oh, there we go. I'm trying to get the shimmer. It's one of my favorite stones. And I actually just saw a labradorite floor at someone's house that I did not know was a thing. I instantly fell in love, and I instantly made it a goal of mine to have a similar floor because it felt like I was walking on a galaxy with every step that I was taking, because the floor under me kept changing colors, just like as you can imagine. just by looking at this. But yes, another one of those stones. As I mentioned in my new moon in Aquarius page or video, um, these materials that I'm listing are just suggestions that correspond with Pisces, but you can take any object or any symbol, and if it corresponds to Pisces in your mind's eye, in your subconscious, then that's just as powerful. So, Pisces being a water sign, the ocean being one of its deepest correspondences and connection, you can take shells or fossils such as this one and use those within your new moon ritual, ceremony, etc., meditation. Um, a few others just to list off: the herb or one of the herbs associated with Pisces, mugwort, the metal being tin, the body part being the feet, and then going on to the cards, the moon card in tarot being the card that corresponds to Pisces. The Hanged Man is the card that corresponds to Neptune, the modern ruler of Pisces. So it's all about, it has those Piscean themes of the suspension of action, the looking at things and gaining new perspective, um, also of surrender, trust. Or if oracle cards are your thing, something such as this New Moon in Pisces card, attuned to the divine. And that last card, just as I mentioned in my last video, is from the Moonology Manifestation Oracle deck. And the one before that one is from the Moonchild Tarot. Two great decks. And those are cards that you can work with today or during your practice. So then, as I mentioned in my last video, sigil work. Symbols are very important to the subconscious. It creates that sacred connection. It signals to your mind that there's something sacred about it. So to activate these themes, these intentions that you're writing down today, you can use this sigil that I created, the fountain. Similar to Aquarius, I see this fountain being an extension from this material plane to the cosmic plane, that divine connection. You can trace this on various materials such as vellum paper to carry around with you. You can burn it or inscribe it into wood, metal, etc. Again, whatever intuitively calls to you. So then, just to read this very quickly, to activate the sigil, there's a section here that you can recite. Through the water, I open the source. Through Neptune, I dissolve into flow. Through Pisces, I allow the intention to rise and return. And then when we come back for the full moon in Pisces, you can close the cycle with this section, or if you close it before, if you work within the 1 month phase instead of the 6 month phase. And again, Pisces, this is the Pisces glyph in connection with the Neptune glyph in connection with the symbol for the water element in alchemical practice. Moving along to the actual new moon in Pisces page. Just gonna read this very quickly. The new moon in Pisces opens a portal for deep intuition, spiritual attunement, and emotional renewal. This lunation invites you to soften boundaries, release control, and listen to the subtle currents guiding your inner world. It is a powerful time to set intentions around healing, compassion, creative flow, and trusting the unseen forces shaping your path. And just a quick intention example. I set an intention to deepen my trust and intuition by allowing compassion, creativity, and spiritual flow to guide my healing and inner transformation. So then in this first section, you just write down the current themes that are playing out for you, emotional tone in 1 to 3 words. Then you set your intentions. You could do bullet points, you could do paragraphs, etc. And then just make sure to check these boxes off, that these intentions are within your agency, that they align with your values, and that you're willing to take action on them. Because again, manifesting isn't all about receiving. It's the duality of feminine and masculine, of taking action, divine, inspired action in order to receive. And then just a quote for today: I welcome compassion, surrender, and intuitive flow. Just to take a quick step back, I forgot to give you an example for how to use the materials page or the materials workshop in the sense of putting it all together. So again, just intuitively go with the flow, whatever is guiding you to be worked with. Doesn't have to be all of these objects. And again, it's if you want to go out and purchase some of these objects, that's up to you, but that's not always necessary. You can do that with things that you currently have, or you can go out in nature and pick out items that intuitively guide you and connect you to that Piscean energy. But for instance, with the feet being the body part that Pisces rules, you can soak your feet in a combination of water, Epsom salt, and crystals, for instance, like aquamarine, as you're playing ocean sounds and doing a chakra meditation that focuses on the crown chakra, which is the chakra that corresponds with Pisces. Just a quick disclaimer: when it comes to soaking crystals, especially with salt, you just want to do a quick check to make sure that the crystals that you have can be put in water or can be put in salt water. Some crystals don't handle that well and can deteriorate. So just make sure to check that or look into that. And yeah, with all that being said, after this, on this journey, the next uh, entry will be the new moon in Aries in about a month on April 17th. But with all that being said, once again, happy new moon in Pisces to all you, my fellow moon lovers and astro seekers.